Hey everybody. I'm a little cough syruped up. Um, but I got my dad's hat, and that's really cool. Um, Elizabeth told me that she got some schmutz on it like 2 days ago, and I was like, that's exactly the perfect thing. Um, yeah. Hey everybody. Thank you for being here. Every moment since Wednesday has been filled with, in my opinion, the raddest people on the planet. And you are what made my dad's life. In the last few years, I think you all know that my dad and I became extensions of one another. So here's a list of things that I love about myself because they came from my dad. Our capacity to make every judgment in the world, say it out loud, and then have the audacity to call it an observation. My frizzy hair, I have no control over. Our immediate impulse to say fuck you to anyone who didn't understand our particular brand of optimism when clearly life is so dumb. I love that we have the richest, bougiest, stick up our asses taste and the cheapest wallets. We both own about 50 hats that I guarantee my dad wore only a few times, as I have, except for that this Dobbs fedora, which only he and our pappy could pull off. Please, like, raise your hat for my dad today. My dad and my complete willingness to inconvenience people at the drop of a hat to do whatever we wanted. We had a delightful taste for snacks. I love that I am an artist because he was an artist. I love that I know when my meds are the thing that are making me an asshole and when it's just me. And that was who my dad was. We were ready, both of us, at a drop of a hat to throw a tantrum. And I'm sure many of you saw me do that while I was with my dad because he gave me every ounce of grace ever. He always let me be exactly who I am. A deep love for, I love that we have a deep love for, if you hadn't noticed, for swearing. But also making people feel very bad for having terrible disability accommodations. I love how our tiny persons fit together and how we walked when we were together and how I knew it best. And I fit so well on his arm. And we loved going to get pedicures. I don't think a lot of you know that, but we went like once a week for the last year. We went all the time. And he slept through every single pedicure. And last on my list that I'll say here, our will to strike up a conversation with anyone, anywhere, no matter how inconvenient it was to anyone else. It was often really inconvenient for many of us to outwardly love and sometimes inwardly love our dad. But he unapologetically and inconveniently loved all of us as we were. He never, ever made me feel like I wasn't exactly the person I should be. And I am so lucky to have a pa who was so him and let me be so me. He never once was what you expected. You thought he'd be like flailing on the floor and all of a sudden he'd get up and walk over and get a cookie. It was so annoying. You were like, what, Eric? Be consistent. No, no. I will miss his breakdown style of getting around the world. I will miss holding his hand. I will miss trying with all my might to find the perfect chair with the exact ass curvature that he wanted. I'll miss going to Mayday with him in the library, like Miko said, and ordering a combo of 2 meals that I knew we already had agreed upon deciding to go to the restaurant. It was like we ordered together, you know? And I'll miss us both knowing that the only way through a father-daughter relationship like ours was to sneer at one another until one of us broke into laughter. Oh, we would have like a competition. And I'll miss that so much because we laughed so much about how stupid everything was. Because life's so dumb. It's really dumb that he had Parkinson's. It's really dumb. I'll miss our drives and the way he let me be as loud as I wanted in our cars. And I'll miss my pa. I have no regrets. And neither does he. He left as he wanted to. He not not that he would have let us do anything else, but he was in his apartment with all of his rugula and his chocolate covered peanuts and his matzah, like just sitting there with him, and 8 different kinds of cereal. He had like 12 on hand at any moment. He did it. He did it. And I'm so, so proud and lucky that annoying, crazy, allergic to planning man was my pa. And I just want to say, and I'm sure in death there's lots of regrets, but he didn't have any. You all showed up just the right amount for him. You all called and got him high and took him to jazz and let him have his tiny kids in totally inappropriate places, such as a dumpster dive or a toilet installation. And you made him laugh so hard. And I'm so glad to be in company with all of you because of him. His memory is most certainly and always will be a blessing. I love you, Pa.